Okay, today we're going to talk some more about how Allied blocks move when they're at sea. And one of the key components of that is the destination markers of the Grand Conseil d'Admirauté. Now, I've probably just slaughtered the pronunciation of that, so I apologize to you French speakers out there. And for the rest of the video, we will just call these French Admiralty destination markers. Pretty early in the development process of the game, we realized that the French had too much flexibility when they were out at sea. So we came up with the idea of the French Admiralty markers, essentially giving a French block when it left port a destination to go to. And I flipped over the Admiralty markers to show you some of the destinations. The destinations in red are British possessions that the French can raid or invade. Yellow, Spanish ports. Blue are French ports. Now, one of the things you have to realize when you're playing the Allies is that your fleets at sea are not out there patrolling like the British fleets are. Your fleets at sea are mission oriented. And that normally means that you want to complete your mission as quickly as possible. So when you sortie from port, you will actually set one of 4 destinations by rotating the block so that the A, B, C, or D is at the top edge of the block. Now let's say, for example, the Brest fleet was going to be going to Cadiz. You would, when you left Brest, rotate the block so that the B was on the top edge. Now while you're at sea, the movement rule itself is that you must end your movement closer to your destination than the hex you began in. The second portion of that rule is that if you are within 9 movement points of your destination when you're activated for movement, you must complete your movement at the destination. Which means that if you're 10 movement points away, yes, you could just move 1 movement point. However, there's a key understanding you must have as the Allied player, and that is you do not want to remain at sea any longer than absolutely necessary to complete your mission. Because invariably, the longer you are at sea, the greater the chance you're going to be caught, and normally if you're caught by the British, they will outgun you and you will pay a heavy price. Now, fog of war blocks do not have any of these restrictions. They're not rotated. They do not have an A, B, C, or D on them. You can move them however you wish. However, an observant British player is going to notice if you're moving a fog of war differently than a fleet would move. So normally you move your fog of wars as if they were fleets headed to a destination, and you hope that the British player bites on that, so to speak, and tries to chase down that fog of war block. Now, you're not locked into these French Admiralty destinations except for one turn. You can change them in the administration phase of each turn. However, you cannot change a destination that is currently active. So say, for example, that the Brest fleet was the only fleet at sea. You could not change the Cadiz destination for the Brest fleet. You could change Bantry Bay, Barbados, and Ferrol to be other Admiralty destinations for other fleets that might be sortying that turn or in future turns. And that's about it for this video. Next video we will get into changing a destination for a fleet that is active, that's at sea, because there are certain circumstances where you can change your destination. And thanks again for staying tuned.